Oh, hi. This is Mischief Magus. Today we're going to talk about the PICATRIX. A little, not a lot. Well, maybe some. What's that? What's the PICATRIX, you ask? It's my 1970s premiere cereal. Son, did you have your PICATRIX this morning for breakfast? Yeah, Dad, it was great. It's a magic book. PICATRIX. Also known as the goal of the wise. We all can't be super wise. Some people are smart. Most are smarter than I am. But we can try and be the best we can. Just try and remember that. I try. Even though I want to be the best, I won't be. This comes from Chris Warnock's book called Secrets of Planetary Ritual. I just want to let you know that I did not write this book. This is not my book. And I'm reading to you for fun. It's very, very useful stuff. And I'm probably jumping the gun by reading this to you, but I think it's necessary. This comes from PICATRIX, Book 3, Chapter 7. This is titled, Attracting the Virtues of the Planets, and How We May Speak with Them, and How Their Influences Are Divided Among Planets, Figures, Sacrifices. You don't have to sacrifice anything. At least nowadays, because we have refrigerators and we can save food. We're not going to sacrifice things. We're not savages, but they did that back then. Anyway, sacrifices, prayers, suffumigations, incenses, and propositions, and the state of the heavens necessary to each planet. It begins. A certain sage, Athabury by name, said that this about the work of the sages in receiving the powers of the planets, according to the observations found in the ancient books of magical operations. When you desire to speak with any planet or ask it for anything that you need, first and above all else, purify your will and your faith in God, and beware especially that you believe in no other. Then cleanse your body and your garments of all dirt. Now, I'm not telling you to be a Christian or whatever. You can believe whatever you want. This is just what the book is saying. But I think if you're working with gods, it might be a good idea to address the one God. And take a shower. For God's sakes, clean under your fucking fingernails. And wash behind those ears. Seriously. Then, determine the nature of the planet to which your petition corresponds. When you wish to address the planet to which your petition properly belongs, dress in clothing dyed the color of the planet, and suffumigate yourself with its incenses, and pray its prayer. Do all this when the planet is established in its dignities, and called the superiors in its dispositions. For by observing these things, what you desire will come to pass. Each planet, just for the record, has a color. If I can remember, Saturn is black. Go to Hot Topic. I'm sure a lot of you do anyway. Jupiter is blue, but some people say green and purple. Mars is red, like blood. If you have a good Mars, I recommend adding some blood onto your talisman. I know that's kind of barbaric, but I think it might help. Sun is yellow, yellow being the most difficult color to catch with the eyes, believe it or not. Venus is light milky white and light green, light soft pastel colors, I think. Mercury is silver, I think. And the moon is white, I think. Well, they're good enough. So, the incenses are a little bit more complicated. But for me, I've always found, I use vanilla for Jupiter, I use sandalwood for Mercury, and I use frankincense for the Sun. For Saturn, I'd probably get like pine or something unpleasant smelling, because he's the lord of all unpleasant smells. You can always roll literal shit and burn it. I mean, I joked about that in one of my videos, but I'm actually serious. He rules all nasty odors. So if you're going to do Saturn, just don't wear, probably, I don't know if you should shower or not. I mean, if he's dirty and stuff, He rules everything bad smelling, so maybe you should just smell really bad. I wouldn't recommend it though. One day, in about 4 years, I'm going to do a Saturn ritual, and I hope to have this video channel still up, and you will see it. And ooh, that'll be fun. Continuing on. Here, we will briefly repeat the petitions proper to each planet. Ask Saturn in petitions concerning old people or generous men, senators, and rulers of cities, hermits, those who labor in the earth, restoration of citizenship and inheritance, distinguished men, farmers, builders of buildings. What else would they be building? Buildings! Servants, thieves, fathers, grandfathers, and great-grandfathers. If you find yourself in contemplation and sorrow, or in melancholy, or grave illness, in anything just named, or in anything that has already been mentioned as belonging to Saturn, and you ask for something that belongs to his nature, you may seek it from him in the manner we describe below. And you may also help yourself in the petition by means of Jupiter. The essence of all these petitions is that you should not seek anything from any planet unless it belongs in his or her dominion. Read domiciles. Seriously, guys. I'm serious. I'm totally 100,000% serious. Do not do it any other way. I do things by the book. Yes, I sound rigid because it's right, and these people are smarter than me, and I know it. You should too. I don't want to hear any of that. Well, can we do this and this? No. Seek from Mars. Oh, wait, excuse me. I just skipped Jupiter. Seek from Jupiter all that belongs to his portion, such as petitions concerning sublime men, the powerful, prelates, sages, preachers of religion, judges, virtuous men, interpreters of dreams, hermits, philosophers, kings, their sons, the children of their sons, soldiers and cousins, and petitions for peace and profit, and anything similar may be sought from him. Seek from Mars what is consistent with his nature, such as petitions of killing. I made that up, but really, against soldiers, officials, fighters, and those who busy themselves with warlike acts. What are you doing over there, Jimmy? I'm just beating up this homeless person. Well, why? To worship Mars. Get him, he's crazy. Don't beat up people. And on behalf of friends of kings and those who destroy homes and citizens, and do evil to humanity, killers, executioners, those who work with fire, or in places such as stables, litigators, shepherds, thieves, companions on the road, liars, traitors, and the like. Similarly, ask him concerning infirmities of the body from the groin downwards, and also for phlebotomy, accumulation of gas, and the like. In these latter petitions, you may also help yourself with Venus, for the nature of Venus dissolves what is closed up by Mars and repairs what he damages. Seek from the Sun those petitions that are appropriate to him, such as petitions against kings, the sons of warriors and kings, exalted people who delight in justice and truth, and abhor falsehood and violence, desirous of good reputation, and seeking popular acclaim, officials, clergy, physicians, philosophers, exalted people who are humble, perceptive, and magnanimous, older brothers, fathers, and the like. As an example, when consecrating my sun talisman, sometimes I would actually ask something like, "Oh sun, can you make me well known in this or that field," or something like that. It has to relate your petition to what the planet promises. The sun can rule fame. Mars can rule victory or killing. You wouldn't say, "Oh Mars, please kill this person." I mean, I guess you could, but if you do, you're an asshole. Seek from Venus all things that pertain to her, such as petitions of women, boys and girls, daughters, and generally everything pertaining to the love of women and carnal copulation with them, art, vocal and instrumental music, telling jokes, and all those who give themselves over to worldly pleasures, those who engage in vices, male and female servants, brides and grooms, mothers, friends, sisters, and all those similar to them. And in these petitions, you may also help yourself with Mars. Venus and Mars are like best buddies. No other planet likes Mars except Venus. Seek from Mercury petitions appropriate to notaries, scribes, arithmeticians, geometers, people that use geometry, astrologers, grammarians, lecturers, philosophers, rhetoricians, poets, sons of kings, secretaries of kings, half-breeds, merchants, minstrels, lawyers, servants, boys, girls, younger brothers, painters, designers, and those similar to them. Seek from the moon all things pertaining to her and attributed to her nature, such as those who petition kings, urban and rural tenants, half-breeds, messengers sent by land or sea, farm laborers, plowmen, geometricians, stewards, portraitists, mariners, and all those who do work pertaining to water, like Popeye. The populace in general, because the moon rules the common people, geomancers, fiancés, the wives of king, youth without beards, so not me, and the like. So what this stuff is trying to say is, when you're making a petition to a planet, let's say you get the sun in Leo in the midheaven, and he somehow trines the ascendant, which is ruled by Sagittarius or something, which is great. You would make a petition to the sun regarding the things that the sun rules. Maybe you would want to be a king in your particular field of work, which is what I'd like to be. And that's why I have the sun talisman, to help me out with that. I wouldn't ask, say, of the sun, oh, I'd like carnal pleasures of women. That's something for Venus. I wouldn't ask the sun, oh, can you help me with my math homework? That would be Mercury, because he rules arithmeticians and other nerdy stuff. You see where I'm getting with this? There's another one, but this is going on into a different category. But I'll read it to you anyway, so that we can continue on from where we're leaving off now. Next, I have determined to write the natures of each of the planets, and the things appropriate to them, and what each of them signifies. This begins with Saturn, as before. Remember the Chaldean order, Saturn down to the moon. Saturn is cold, dry, and unfortunate, destructive, the source of bad and foul odors, proud, and a traitor, because when he makes any promise, he betrays it. I'm going to save this for the next video, but this one's really important, and the next video will also be. So, and remember, this is from Chris Warnock's book, Secrets of Planetary Ritual. You can get it online for probably about $5 on Amazon. It's not expensive. You can get it on your Kindle and carry it with you everywhere and look at it when you're in the bathroom at work, like I do sometimes. Anyway, we'll continue on with what the planets represent after this. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. Hope you continue watching and learning.